Last night, Chelsea finally stepped up to the plate. What a night of mixed emotions. I've never seen a team be so unlucky and then so lucky in the same match. We finally started to see a bit of fluency in the game. We finally started to see players playing for the manager and for the fans, taking the game by the scruff of the neck and not accepting no for an answer. What goes around comes around, and you think back to Romero yanking Cucurella down by his hair, Souček making a save of the season contender, and all that bad luck we've had recently was vindicated in part last night. Before VAR, that penalty don't get given. 99 times out of 100, we don't get a chance to retake it. But last night, the footballing gods finally threw Chelsea a bone. It's never been in doubt that we can field a massively talented 11, but apart from little moments like maybe the goal against West Ham, before last night, it's never clicked consistently for a whole game. That being said, let's get into my player ratings. Kepa, I give a solid 7.5 out of 10. The only reason it's not higher because he wasn't called upon that much, but when he was called upon, like for the free kick, he made a really good save. He just showed a lot of maturity, calm, composure, time wasted well, which I liked. Yeah, solid one from Kepa. Reece James, another 7.5 out of 10. He done his job really well. Anyone who watches Chelsea on a regular basis will know that that's Reece operating at about 60%, so give him a chance to get back fully fit. But nevertheless, a good performance. Someone that I think could hold the key to letting Reece play the way we want to see him play is Wesley Fofana. I'll give him a 7.5 last night, as I will Koulibaly. Cucurella, I read reports that he got man of the match. I would actually give him a 7. I don't think he was man of the match, but I do think that he was improved massively on performances we've seen this season, so long may that continue. The real man of the match, Ben Chilwell, I'll give him an 8.5 out of 10. There was a lot of big performances last night, but this was probably the best for me. Please, 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 can we keep Ben Chilwell and Reece James fit at the same time? Because of them two on the pitch, we are a completely different animal. Kovacic is good, he gets a 7. Enzo a 7.5. I think maybe the job he done last night was slightly underrated. He kept Jude Bellingham quiet for the most part. He helps the game tick over massively, and not one part of me thinks we're going to regret spending the money we did on him. I'm going to give a 7.5 to João Felix and 8 to both Kai and Raheem Sterling. Felix is always a class act, although ultimately he didn't impact the game from a goals or assist standpoint, but nevertheless, good performance. Sterling for me has been unintentionally disrespected in terms of when we were signing all these new players. I feel like I was in the minority of thinking, hold on, remember we got Raheem Sterling to come back. This man has and probably always will be criminally underrated by the media and a lot of the British public. And Kai Havertz is unlucky to not come away with a higher number. I thought that was his best game I've seen him in a Chelsea shirt, but he did miss a penalty, and on another day we might not have had the good fortune of taking that penalty again, which could have massively impacted the game. But let's not be too harsh on Havertz, because I have been in the past. If he can keep putting in consistent performances like that, he is well within his right to deserve a place in the starting 11 each week. Now, let me address the elephant in the room. Am I still Potter out? I think I can speak for all Chelsea fans when I say that anyone that was leaning towards my side of the fence, which is maybe not having the belief that Potter was the right man for the job, wasn't doing so out of any ill feeling towards Graham Potter. I can put every penny to my name that the personal threats that were apparently made towards Graham Potter and his family were not made by season ticket holders that sit in the shed end or the Matthew Harding. They were probably made by disturbed 14-year-old trolls online who have never been to Stamford Bridge in their life. No one doubts that Graham Potter is a lovely bloke, but I think it would be wrong to dismiss anyone that did doubt Graham Potter just off the back of 2 solid wins. I doubted Potter, and 2 games hasn't convinced me he's definitely the right man, but on the weekend we got a result, last night we got a performance, and now we need a run. This has got to be the catalyst. My whole life we have sung about following Chelsea over land, sea and Leicester, and on Saturday we need to get the win. Do that and I'll be very content that Graham Potter is the right man for this moment in time, and I will hold my hands up in being too hasty in calling for him to be replaced in the dugout. Chelsea fans, enjoy it, we can breathe, and now let's smash the Foxes on Saturday.